I don't understand. Where's the phone?
Because we had to sync the...
Oh, is that why we were clapping? I thought we were clapping to sync the video with the audio.
Yeah, that was before I figured out how to doctor the audio. We don't have to do that. We can use that, as even though that mic is kind of shitty. I can fix it.
Okay. All right.
All right, man, welcome back to another episode.
Was that our intro?
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Well, now, see, I also did that intentionally.
Yeah.
After the welcome back, I asked, "Was that our intro?"
Yeah. So now we
So
have to post it.
It has to be.
Yeah. That'll get posted. We just had a dumb fucking conversation before we actually went live. We'll put that up somewhere. So hey, here we go. I'm Jared here with Bobby, and there's been quite a lot of stuff going on this week.
That's really amazing because, as I've alluded to in the past, I got some shit going on at work.
Yeah,
and I would be none the wiser.
You don't know a goddamn thing about
Not
anything that's going on.
Not a thing.
All right, well, let me start out with one that's like not an angry one. Well, depending on who you ask, maybe if you work for Microsoft.
I'll make it angry if you want.
Because the first one is yesterday, I think it was. Apple had their Apple event.
Okay.
And they announced that they were going to drop 3 new things. They were going to drop. Everyone knew they were coming out with a streaming service.
Yep.
So they made the official announcement.
Oh shit! So Apple has a streaming service now.
Yes,
okay.
Apple is going to be coming out with a streaming service.
Okay.
They're also going to start a video game platform, which I don't really know a ton about. I didn't read about that one. I read mostly about the streaming service because, again, I don't really care about video games because I don't play them. And their third part of that was that they are creating an Apple credit card. So they're going to now be a credit card company in addition to everything else that they do.
I can get angry about this because I hate the fucking credit card companies.
Yeah.
I hate them so fucking much.
Yeah.
They are so fucking annoying. Like, fuck. Credit cards are the biggest fucking racket. I understand why Tyler Durden fucking blew everything to shit in Fight Club.
Okay.
Get the fuck you.
Get
the fucking reference.
I've seen the movie, but it's been a long time, and
I do too.
It's not one of those movies.
I'm playing the tough persona because I can't remember if Tyler Durden was his schizophrenic person.
Was the real one or
was
the
his
crazy
real
one?
name?
Yeah.
And which also means I can't remember who Brad Pitt was and who Edward Norton was. And there was definitely something to do with credit cards.
Yeah.
And something definitely fucking exploded.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the things, like, you know, girls in high school is like, oh my God. And it's like the scene where everything's fucking on fire or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Credit cards do suck. And I think it's funny too, because I think realistically there's only 4 companies, right? It's MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and Discover. And then everyone else has like credit cards. Oh, Barclay. I have a credit card through them. They're another one. All right, so I totally fucking lied. Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's really weird, and I don't know if we know enough about it because
definitely don't.
Like your Barclays card is a MasterCard.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's through Barclays Bank.
Yeah, so it's like
maybe it's a processing service. I don't fucking know.
Hold on. If Barclays Bank, so that's the bank behind it.
Yeah, but it's a JetBlue card,
which is the rewards,
right?
But it's a MasterCard.
Yeah, that's a lot for me. That's a lot for my little brain.
Yeah.
So fuck credit cards, but Apple.
It's the companies I don't like. I like credit cards.
Yeah.
Because I never have cash on me, so I would never be able to buy anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Apple's streaming service, they have gotten a bunch of big names to commit to them too. So they're going to start pumping out their own original content as well as offering other stuff. They got names. They got Oprah, Jennifer Aniston, Chris Evans, which kind of makes me think that because Chris Evans has signed on with them, that Captain America is probably going to die in Endgame, but that's whatever.
Yeah, I also heard, well, obviously his contract hasn't renewed,
Right.
and I've also heard that
He's been trying to get out for a while.
he's done.
He wants to do other stuff.
So I think he's done, but Captain America could continue with a different actor.
Yeah, okay. That's probably. And then the other one who signed on with Apple is Steven Spielberg. So they've got all of these people that are committed to the new Apple streaming service. So they announced it yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. I don't really remember. But it's not going to launch until the fall. So it'll be up then. I don't know if they've already started recording their series and they'll all be ready to drop in the fall, or they're going to start now and then sporadically release them, into 2020. But it's coming. It's official. They announced it. And I think it's pretty cool that they got all those names. However, this is just one more streaming service. Disney's also going to drop their thing in the fall. I think eventually we're going to turn back into something similar to cable. Like it's going to get ridiculously expensive because people are going to be paying $12 for Netflix, $10 for Hulu, probably $10 for Disney, call it $10 for Apple. It's like, well, why the fuck am I doing all this? Why don't I just go back to paying for cable? It's
Well, probably because cable blows, but
yeah, no, it definitely does. But people complained about cable mostly because of the cost. And now all these streaming services are just going to add up to be just as much, if not more expensive than cable.
I don't like cable companies either.
No, cable companies fucking blow. I've never interacted with one company that I liked. That being said, I've only really interacted with two. But still, they can go fuck themselves. Verizon and Comcast. Yeah, I said it. Fuck you.
I don't.
Comcast-
You said this wasn't going to make me angry or something. You're talking about credit card companies and cable companies. I hate both of them, like a lot.
I think Comcast probably has the worst customer service that I've ever interacted with in ever.
I get caught.
Forever.
I get caught so off guard when I call them for something and they actually they fix my problem.
Yeah.
Or they find a solution.
You know what? Actually, AT&T is pretty fucking awful too. I can't remember which one it was when I had to call one time, if it was AT&T or Comcast, but I called because I had an issue with something, and it was clearly, very clearly, a call center in India, and the person picks up the phone, and he's like, "Hello, thank you for calling AT&T. This is
so bad.
This is Tom," and I was like,
So bad.
Your name's not really Tom. Don't lie to me. Like, your name isn't really Tom." And so I heard other people talk about this. So this wasn't, I called him out and said that his name wasn't Tom, and he was like, no, it definitely is. And I was like, I doubt it. But I had
It's
done
like horrible
that.
bosses.
I had done that because previously I had heard, I think it might have been Ross Patterson talked about it on one of his episodes, that he gave this guy the complete runaround, and he was like, "Oh, okay. So your name's Tom. Where you from, Tom?" And he's like, "Well, I can't really talk about that." And he was like, "Well, why not? Like, I'm not asking for your actual home address. Like, what state? What state are you in right now? Where are you talking to me from?" And I think he said like New Jersey. And he goes, "Oh, really? Like, I grew up in New Jersey. Like, what part?" And the guy's like, "I just can't talk. I can't talk about that." And he was like, "Yeah, that's because you're in fucking India right now." And I think he just hung up on him. He like recorded the call for the podcast. It was pretty funny.
So I've heard that before too. Does any I could give a shit less where I just assume that they're in some random ass place. But
I just think it's funny, and I get like humor from them lying about it.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for me because it's like either way, are you gonna fucking help me or not? Whether you're in fucking Indonesia or fucking Indiana.
Yeah. No.
And usually they don't, so it doesn't matter where the fuck they're from.
Yeah. One time I called, it was clearly neither of them, but I called some company for some, obviously you can't remember the good ones, but I called and I was talking to some lady that was in like Atlanta, and she was the most helpful person I've ever interacted with that I've had to call customer service for. And I was like, all call centers should be in the South because those people are super fucking nice.
Oh, they're so nice.
They're just willing to do like whatever they got to do to help you out and be like, oh, okay, like that's not true. Like, let's fix this up. And it was great. She was awesome.
We'll say though, the last 2 times I've called Comcast, I'm on a streak. I'm 2 for my last 2 of actually them giving me something remotely okay.
All right. That's weird.
And
that's weird.
It's been a long time since I've thrown a fucking fit on the phone with a company.
I fucking hate one of my things.
I actually
hate calling customer service lines.
I actually
for anything.
There were a few times where I actually like felt bad after the interaction on the phone. I'm like, oh man, wow, that is not that person's fault at all.
No, it never is. But that's who gets the brunt of it.
I go, but that company sucks. Actually, and the reason I was okay with what I did was I actually asked, I go, so here's my thing. I'm about to probably lose my fucking mind right now. I swear at these people too. I go, I'm about to like just go fucking nuts. Do you want to pass me on to a manager, or do you want to, like, if you want to give me someone else, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, this isn't going to be pretty. Oh no, I think I'll be able to help you. Okay, let's do this. I fucking went nuts. That's usually the software for the gym. It's the worst. It is literally the worst company ever, but their product is good and too much of a pain. It's actually worth dealing with. Yeah. Because switching is too much of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So it's super interesting how different companies and different businesses like look at and value their customer service and everything. So for me, and I'm sure you're probably in the same boat as a small business owner, but when I had the business for the 2 years, the 2-year run that we gave it, we always like prided ourselves on customer service. Like if someone emailed us to buy a program or something, it was a self-imposed deadline that like we were going to have it done and built and emailed back to them in 48 hours. There was some other stuff like pending. They needed to get us stuff as well. But as soon as we had their complete thing, 48 hours or less, you'll have your shit. And the same thing with like the shipping of the clothes and the hats and all, like the apparel and shit. So like when I run into shit and like people are like, oh yeah, like, you know, when I appreciate good customer service is probably more than most people because of that. And through like my research and learning all about like, you know, marketing and all that bullshit about, you know, running a business, I thought it was really interesting because I learned that Google, their customer service department, I think only has like 5 employees. So for like a international multi-billion-dollar company, they literally have 5 employees in their customer service department because what they do is when there's an issue, they like gather and be like, all right, how do we solve this issue so it never happens again? And our camera just fucking cut out again. So that's sick.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, probably because the fucking storage is full. That's going to be great. So the what was I saying? The Google, yeah, it's because they look at what the problem is and then they just fix it. And I was like, holy shit, that makes so much sense.
Nah, that's stupid.
But then like,
no, you're supposed to put an FAQ together.
Yeah.
For what happens when you have an issue and you don't want to actually fix it. I feel like Google's also one of those where they shouldn't need a ton of customer service. I mean, yeah, they got like the Gmail and the G Suite and the G Drive, but I don't know. Maybe I'm taking for granted how easy it is to actually like use and even like show people how to use. But I don't think I remember ever wanting to call Google about like anything really, but you know, you do get these companies where it's like they're an absolute shit show all the time, and it's like, how do you guys exist? Like,
Yeah.
and why do I still use your product? Well, it's because I'm lazy, but anyway.
Yeah, it's like how do you do fucking anything?
I don't know. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah. So we should be back in the video show now. The audio will still run. We'll just have a little gap in the in the viewership part. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm really interested to see what Apple is going to bring to the table when it comes to the, you know, what kind of stuff they're going to have on their streaming service. And I mean, they got the names. You know, not that I really give a shit about Oprah or anything that she does, but I mean, she's going to pump out some stuff and she's going to draw some attention. I think the biggest one is Spielberg. I'm really interested to see what he's going to start putting out. Because for the longest time, he's also still an old school guy. He's very much into films. He so back in like the day, like, you know, before, I don't know, call it 2010 ish. Everyone was like, oh, movies are where it's at. You got to make movies. You got to make movies. TV sucks. It was always like, if you're a TV star, like you're like a B-level star. You know, that's how it used to be. But now that, you know, the streaming services has taken over and like Netflix and Hulu and everything have produced these phenomenal shows that are essentially like, you know, 7 or 8 hour long movies. That's obviously changed. So I'm really interested to see what Spielberg is going to be able to do if he sticks with his like old school thought where he just makes movies, or if he takes this ability to do the shows and make an 8 to 10, or I guess 8 to maybe 13 episode season of something with like, you know, 45 to hour long episodes. Like, what could he do given, you know, 8 hours to tell a story instead of, you know, 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So that's kind of what I think I'm most excited about the Apple streaming service.
I think it's too many streaming services.
Well, yeah, I mean I
think that's like an actual problem.
Yeah,
because it's going to come down to it where what would you consider like YouTube TV? I'm trying to think. It's like a cable alternative. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would call YouTube TV a cable alternative.
That's a streaming service, but it's like a cable channel.
They get cable. Yeah.
So I think it's those are still going to do well.
Yeah.
Because they're cheaper. There's no commitment. You can play them on a million TVs.
Right, like Sling. So I would say Sling and YouTube TV.
Like PlayStation View.
Yeah.
Direct TV Now.
Yep.
So the ones that actually play cable, those are going to be the ones that crush it.
Yeah.
Dude, there's going to be way too many streaming services for...
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Like, the costs are going to add up, and it's going to get fucking expensive.
And the way I look at it is like, okay, so YouTube TV is like a $40 thing because you get cable. So, like, okay, you know, someone, like a household can get one.
Right.
Maybe two, depending. But if you get two and two streaming services, well, now you're up to $100.
Right.
And that's not Wi-Fi. So you need to get a good Wi-Fi. So now you're $100, $200. People are complaining about $200 cable bills.
Right. And they're spending the same amount of money.
So I don't know. I think Amazon Prime is actually going to end up being one of the ones that
I think
sticks out because people are already paying for Prime.
Right.
Like Prime Video is just kind of like a bonus.
Right. I think if Amazon could find a way to hop into the cable streaming, they would absolutely crush it too. It's going to be really interesting about because I think it's kind of out there. It's being rumored right now, but like a lot of people are talking about it, that Netflix is probably going to get bought by somebody soon.
Like, who are they thinking though? Are they thinking like an Apple or a Disney?
The only options at this point would be Amazon or Apple. I don't think anyone else has enough money to buy them.
Okay.
I don't know if Disney would want to, is also what I'm saying. So I think it's going to be either Amazon or Apple that ends up buying them. and whoever does, that's just going to shoot them right up to the top. And I think a lot of people were talking about they're leaning towards Apple buying Netflix because Apple has been pushing. They're the last to come to the streaming service thing. And everyone is like, well, why would they do that? They don't really have a ton to offer. And then someone somewhere was like, well, I bet you they're doing it to set up their own platform so that eventually they can buy Netflix. Which, if you think about it, makes sense. But I don't know. It's definitely an interesting way to look at their situation. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I will say though, those three things, they all sound stupid to me. Or I mean, or I don't know. It seems like oh well, everyone's doing a streaming service, so we'll do that. And then it's like video game platform. Okay, Fortnite was cool, so we'll do that.
Well, admittedly,
actually, I think that's the one that has the biggest opportunity.
Admittedly, I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
So my first thought when I saw that Apple was releasing a video game platform, my brain went to, oh, is that going to be something along the lines where like, this has been also rumored for years and years and everyone wants it, but something where like it's just a platform that people can connect to. So if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation, you can connect to this and like play interchangeably. I don't know. Are they going to come out with a video game console? I have no fucking clue. I literally have not read one single thing about their video game platform other than like they're doing it.
Yeah, and then the credit card just seems like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, yeah, sure, why not?
Honestly, like they already have Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Like,
so I think what
is a credit card going to do better?
I think what they're trying to do, and this is what I read in the article that I was that's what I read in the article I was reading. Redundancy here.
The Department of the Redundancy Department.
Yep, exactly. They were saying that Apple is trying to get away from the iPhone. They're trying to diversify because the iPhone, for all intents and purposes, hasn't changed a ton in the last like 3 or 4 iterations. So they're like, all right, well, we need to do other stuff here.
That's what it seems like.
They have a concept car. They're trying to they're going to potentially release a car as well to compete with Tesla.
Great.
Yeah. So that's coming
Wonderful.
too. Yeah.
I'm still going to buy Toyotas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll never be able to afford an Apple car. An iCar.
I wouldn't want one.
No, I don't think I would either. Although it would keep everything in line with my Apple product life.
You would end up with one.
Yeah. Just for convenience.
Yeah, you would.
It's super convenient. It is super convenient because everything gets shared. So I can
Apple houses.
I can access my computer
Apple
on my
garages.
phone. Yeah.
Apple sheds.
Throwing apples, apple trees.
They already have those.
We got to plant some apple trees. Well, in continuing with the current events here, in more infuriating news, our boy Jussie Smollett was so he was being charged with 16 counts of like falsifying police reports and all this. They're felony charges.
Yeah.
The other day, all charges were dropped.
Did he pay?
That's so. What the attorney and the judge came out and said was that he agreed to forfeit his bond. So his bail, essentially, that he paid to get out, which I don't know what it was. I don't know. And also agreed to do community service. So because of those two things, they dropped all charges, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. So there's a lot of fishy stuff going on here, too, if you buy into like the conspiracy things, which I don't necessarily always buy into conspiracies, but I like to entertain them because they're entertaining. So right after this, the mayor of New York came out, and also the superintendent of the police department came out and said that this is absolutely ridiculous. I think the mayor said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, in a world where, people are consistently fighting about racism and, you know, the injustice that happens according to racism, for a man to use those to his own personal benefit for his own entertainment career is disgusting. And then the Chicago police superintendent also was like, this is absolutely an injustice. Like, the trial needed to go through. He broke the law. What he did was against the law. And they just decided to say, like, okay, see you later. And it's funny too, because on social media, all like the more conservative leaning people are like, yeah, well, clearly, there's no such thing as white privilege. It's just rich privilege. And it's, or rich people privilege. And I read that and I'm like, they're kind of not wrong. Like, if you're really rich and you're famous, like, you get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You can just about buy your way on anything.
Yeah. So there's a few conspiracy theories out there regarding this. One of them I think is tied to Kamala Harris, who is a presidential candidate for the Democratic Party in 2020. There's another tie to, I want to say, I literally just read this before we got on air, but there's allegedly a tie to Michelle Obama as well. I don't know a ton about them. I know the conspiracy theories exist. I can't really say a ton, and I don't want to because I don't want to get them wrong. But they're out there. Google it. But the breaking news that happened just before we actually got on air. This is great. We get to break news for the first time on air.
Dude, we need a sounder like the Sports Hub. It's like a rush. It's like a Russian fucking ice bar.
Yeah.
Music.
So the breaking news that just dropped before we got on air, actually, that I saw.
I guess it's not breaking because this isn't coming out till Monday.
Yeah, but whatever. I could, depending on how quickly I edit this, it could come out tomorrow. We could push the other one back. So the FBI has decided to step in and look into why all the charges were dropped. So now everyone is like, oh boy, if there was any sort of conspiracy or backdoor dealings, the FBI might be able to figure this out here and someone might be in trouble. So, yeah.
So I guess I need to go into the future to determine how mad I'm going to get about this. Because if this guy just goes away,
right,
like just goes away forever, then I really don't care about the charges.
Right.
But if this is a stepping stone for him to either get, new parts in shows or movies or speaking, or if this is like a way for him to build a brand and a platform for himself, then I don't know, someone should probably shoot him in the kneecap.
Yeah. Or actually fucking beat him up.
Nah, kneecap him.
Yeah. But it's, you know
how bad that would probably hurt?
Yeah, I can't imagine getting shot in the kneecap.
And then they have to rebuild it.
Yeah.
And a patella tendon tear, because hey, if someone shoots you in the kneecap, that thing's going.
Yeah.
That's miserable.
Yeah. I just, the whole faking a police report, or no, faking a hate crime and filing a false police report, those are both crimes.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of crimes get thrown out. A lot of crimes do get thrown out. So
yeah, but if you or I did that, we would be in jail. If either one of us filed a false police report and it was somehow related to it, or it didn't even have to be related to a hate crime, just any sort of crime, we would be in trouble. We would go to jail. We would do something. You know what I mean? Like this guy.
But sometimes it's pay a fine and go away, and then no one ever hears about you again. That's my thing. Yeah. If this guy gets buried, which isn't, it isn't going to happen. He's too fucking famous.
Right.
So this is why I'll have to go revisionist history, looking back.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get mad for future me. Where
get it out now.
So this guy, he falsified all this stuff, built a platform for himself, so now people talk about him, or people care about him, or people give a shit about what he does. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it gets him TV spots, movie spots, speaking spots, whatever, a book. I don't know.
He was already getting speaking spots before they found out he faked it. He was essentially going on tour to talk about him and getting hate crime.
Yeah, and now he's going to use this to nothing. So the only thing that changed was that we all found out he didn't do it.
Right.
But now he can probably flip the message to book, speak,
Right.
appear,
Something
whatever.
fucking stupid.
And it's like, if that was the case, then, you should probably do some time for that.
Yeah.
Because it's all just a big ruse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're gonna, you shouldn't get to person. It's one of those things like, okay, so if say this guy was a little more famous and he got caught with like a bunch of coke,
Yeah.
and then they're like, okay, we have charges on possession and intention to distribute and whatever.
Right.
Okay, all the charges are dropped. All right. You can't leverage the fact that you had a shitload of coke into like making yourself more famous or better, or like you can't write a book about, hey, this one time I had a bunch of coke. Like,
yeah.
You can't do that. But this almost gives him an opportunity. By being a piece of shit, it gives him an opportunity to now like do something.
Oh, it most certainly does.
And it's probably going to be based around the event.
Yeah.
Or something around the event.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it'll be like if he'll take it and be like, oh, this is what I learned from what I did, or if he'll use it as more of like the original intent of what he did. If he then tries to go on like that route, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, just go away.
So,
Please just go away.
I just want him to go away. But you know what was actually really funny?
But he's not going to go away because even you and I are talking about him. I barely even know about this fucking story. Except actually, the only times I've like even known about this story are the 2 times we've talked about it, and that's a problem because that means this dude's gonna.
He sucks. He sucks. But so he released a statement after all the charges got dropped, and he said that, or his attorney had said that, however it came out, said that he had been truthful throughout the entire process. And I saw that statement and I was like, hold on, I'm going to call bullshit on this one. You can't claim that you have been truthful the entire time when the whole incident that supposedly happened that put you in this scenario, you didn't tell the truth about. You falsified. You literally made it up and it was fake.
Yeah, this is fucking lawyer speak.
It's literally asinine. It's asinine.
Lawyer
You're like,
speak,
no, I've been truthful for the entire time. It's like, no.
Yeah, well, so with what the lawyer's saying is the timeline started with the charges, and he was truthful from then, but the original event was not truthful.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Lawyers.
I just hope he fucking just disappears, and I hope no one hires him. But he won't, because unfortunately, everyone is well aware he is anti-Trump, and so is everyone in the fucking media, and so is Hollywood. So because of that, someone's going to give him a job. They're going to be like, oh, he was so brave. He was so brave to go through that.
No, it'll be... hopefully it doesn't go that route. It goes...
No, it probably will.
That was a really stupid thing for him to do. Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
But I like what he has to say otherwise.
Yeah.
That's
literally how it's going to go. We're like, well, I like what he has to say. Yeah. But I'm interested to see what the FBI is going to find.
No, because the narrative is going to change. It's going to change to, hey, we can't just judge people on one mistake, which is it's fair, but
people are very like duplicitous about that because you have someone else like.
Listen, no, I don't. I really don't think anyone should be judged on one mistake. But if your mistake springboards you
right
to something that you probably don't deserve,
yeah,
I got a problem with that.
Right.
So,
but it's like I can't. Maybe I can, but right off the top of my head, I can't think of one scenario of someone who's considered more like a right-wing person who makes a mistake, and then people are like, well, it was a mistake. We'll just let him back in. Oh, I got one. Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was, one, he got wrapped up in the whole Me Too movement and
Yeah.
say what you want, but he never put his hands on a woman ever. He had this weird fucking fetish where he would sit in the corner of a room and ask the woman or women, he would ask them first, can I jerk off in front of you? Which they then replied with, yes. Say what you want about like the implications and like what would happen if they said no and he was powerful and they needed a career, whatever. I'm not here to argue about that. I understand that part of it. But he asked for their permission to jerk off in front of him because it was his weird kink, and they said yes. And so he proceeded to jerk off, touching himself, not with them, just while they were in the room and while they were watching. He made a mistake, you know? That's... He and also when it came out, I don't know, when did he get popped for that? 2017, maybe. When the whole full story came out, turns out that in 2017, when that whole thing started, the last time he had actually done that was 10 years ago. So there was a 10-year period where he stopped doing it, and then he gets in trouble for it in 2017 because he had done it in, you know, let's call it 97 to 2007, just to be fair. And then he just stopped, and then that happened, and now no one wants to give him a second chance. It's like, but then these same people are going to be the people that say, well, you know, Jussie just made a mistake and everyone deserves a second chance. What?
Dude, life ain't fair. If you're trying to find reasoning in this stuff, you ain't gonna find it.
So the one thing I said this before on the episode when Tony was here, and Derek too. Can't forget about Derek.
What's up, Derek?
But
What's up, Chris?
What's up, Chris? I get angry and frustrated with hypocrisy. It aggravates the fuck out of me. Like, just be transparent and just be straightforward.
Dude, you're asking way too much from people.
I know. And it gets me in...
You are asking for way too much.
It gets me in a lot of trouble because I try and live that way. And, like, if I don't like someone, I'm not going to pretend that I do like them, which, you know, there are multiple different scenarios in life where that may not go so well for you, which it usually doesn't for me. But I'm still me. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not a big fan. And I'm not going to pretend that I am. Or like if I say something or I feel a certain way, like I'm going to follow that throughout my life. Like I'm not going to sit here and say like, you know, I value individual rights and then go vote for fucking, I don't know, a universal basic income and socialism. You know what I mean? Like I'm just, it's, I try and be consistent in what I do and what I say. And when people say one thing and then do another, that drives me fucking crazy.
Welcome to human beings.
That's why I fucking hate human beings.
Everyone's full of shit. Everyone's absolutely full of shit.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say that we're...
What do you think? People are good all of a sudden?
Well, I don't want to say that we're like some different, but our friends and the people we hang out with don't really do that. Like if someone says like, this is what's going on, then that's actually what's going on. Like very rarely do they say one thing and then go fucking do another, you know? Outside of like, yeah, hey man, I'll come down on Saturday and then not coming down. Like that's not really the same kind of thing, you know? But I don't know if it's an us thing or if it's just, I don't know. We're similar type of way, so we gravitate toward each other. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know what it is. But hypocrisy drives me fucking bananas.
It does me too.
Yeah.
Like I don't like hearing something and then seeing something else. It bothers me too. But
right.
I just don't expect people to not be hypocrites or to be consistent.
Yeah.
People just aren't.
Yeah. Which is really fucking shitty.
Unless you hang out with me, I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I always have been.
Yeah. No,
like,
that's...
Like someone made a joke in like when high school superlatives came out. And then they were like, wow, if there was ever anything where... You know, you could just be like straight line across the board, like just like average everything. Like, dude, you would get that. I'm like, yeah, well, that's not a superlative. That's fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. It's not. The point of a superlative is you're supposed to be like exceptional and
different,
something
different than average.
Yeah, or unless you went to the Vogue and you got like most least likely to succeed or whatever.
Yeah.
And then every job review or interview or anything I've ever had is everyone always just says it's like level. Don't get too high, don't get too low.
Yeah.
Dude, you just aren't gonna find that in people.
Yeah.
People say shit all the time and it never fucking happens. I don't say a goddamn thing unless I'm pretty sure know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Or you can actually back it up with your actions.
2 days ago, I told someone that, oh yeah, moving. I don't know, because our letter wasn't in yet.
Yeah.
Letter's in today. Hey, we're moving.
Right. Yeah. But it's like shit like that like, and again, maybe it's a me thing, but I appreciate things like that where it's just it's consistency. Like, you know what you're going to get. You're not worried about like, I don't know, like they said they were going to help me out, but I don't know if they're actually going to show
also,
up.
people are fucking stupid because if you say things or promise things or like, consider things, then people hold you to that. And then if you don't deliver,
right, or if you project yourself in a certain way,
it's everyone's always like, oh, always over deliver. Well, what I think they're thinking too is like, you're gonna go like above and beyond.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever thought about just setting the floor a little low so that if you over deliver, all you're really doing is like just going above meeting expectations? Because that's what I always fucking do.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what? Okay, so if I can get if I can get this done by this time, full knowing that I can't get that done. And then, if it takes me like 10 minutes to get there, it takes 20. And then like I'll be there for a half an hour, I'll be there for an hour.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes home, 20. I think I can make it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then but then it causes people to get stressed out and like they freak out because they set themselves up in a spot where they know they can't actually deliver that.
Oh God, never.
I don't understand.
Never early commit.
Yeah.
Never early commit.
It's like, so like when I make appointments and shit, I always say like, 15 to 20 minutes later than I know I'm going to be there. So if I know I can get somewhere by 3:30, when I'm setting up the appointment, I'm like, how does 3:45 sound? And they're like, that's great. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I always show up at 3:30. And then typically they're like, oh, you're a little early. And it's like, yeah, I guess. I don't tell them that's my system, but that's just what I do.
New topic. Is being early like this like thing that has been shunned from fucking society?
I guess, I don't know.
Because I'm early. I'm either typically early for everything.
Yeah.
Or if I commit to something and say like some of my tattoo appointments were tough.
Yeah.
So like I made them for like 10:30.
Yeah.
Now I knew I had a group that ended at 10:15.
Right.
So I would tell him, I go, Joe, I can come at 10:30, but like just so you know, like I might be coming in fucking hot, like on two wheels.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, no sweat. He goes, I'll get here at 10:30. I'll start setting up.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then we'll be good. I get there at 10:30. He isn't even there yet.
Yeah.
But now this isn't an indictment on him. This is an indictment on just like people. Like if you say you're going to meet somewhere or you're going to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Is showing up early or on time like such a bad thing?
I didn't think so, but apparently other people do.
If you said you were going to be somewhere, especially if you're meeting someone, like if you tell me, hey, I'm going to come by at 4:00, great, because I'm busy starting at 4:15.
Yeah.
So if you don't show up at 4,
right,
I won't be able to help you.
I don't have time for you. I have other shit to do.
4:30. I'm like, yeah, I can't help you.
Yeah, right.
Like, figure it out. Like, I can, and then it's like, I need to like kind of go on the fly and be like, okay, well, you need to go do that. Like, someone was picking something up today.
Yeah.
Be it, she told me, she was like, hey, I'm running late. I'm like, great. I informed you the other day.
Right.
That if you don't show up at 4:15 when you said.
Right.
I can't help you. So, here it is. I can't help you. And I can't talk to you either because I got fucking 12 kids on the turf.
Right.
And they're going to start fucking fist fighting if I don't get it back out there. But even just like clients, it's like when I book a golf lesson,
yeah,
If my golf lesson is for 11 o'clock, now,
Usually get there around 10:45.
no, because I'm only 5 minutes away, so I get there 10 minutes early.
All right.
So the closer I am, the shorter amount of time I give. Like when I had my golf tournaments in Plymouth, which was a 45-minute drive,
Yeah.
dude, I was getting there like an hour and a half, 2 hours early.
Before, yeah. Well, it's one of those things too. Like I mean, I see this all the time. Just being on the road every fucking day, you never know when there's going to be traffic. There is never any fucking traffic on 495, and by never, I mean that like 2 or 3 times a month. There's a fuck ton of traffic on 495, but you never know when it's going to happen. And then it's like, some days hopping from Worcester down here might take me 50 minutes. Other days might take me almost 2 hours. And it's like, you got to build that in and be like, yeah, no, I'll be there whenever.
It's just funny too, because it's like my parents are early for everything, so that's where obviously it came from.
Yeah.
But even for me, it's like I don't want to be late to anything.
No.
But yeah, it's funny. It's like if I tell my mother, it's like, oh, hey, I'll meet you. Like I mean, she hasn't been down here in a while, but when she needed signatures from me, I'm like, yeah, I wake up at 7. Dude, she was outside at 6:45.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my mother always used to say, first one's there, first one's to leave.
Oh,
That's how
even like
that's
parties
how
and events.
that's how she would get me to go to stuff that I didn't want to go to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to go to this fucking thing. And she'd be like, whoa, for the first one's there, we can be the first ones to leave. And I was like, fine, whatever.
But even like hockey games, like I'd be there so fucking early.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess somewhere along the line. I mean, obviously there's that whole fashionably late thing, which whatever.
Okay, fashionably late is different.
Yeah.
That is, I'm talking about like if you have a firm time.
Right.
So if someone says
Like
hey,
for your job, like job professionally related,
jobs, appointments, meetings,
anything that's professional. If the appointment is 4 o'clock,
sometimes not even professional.
that means 4 o'clock.
It's like
If I have a party at 4 o'clock and you stroll in at 4:20, like no big deal, whatever.
it's like even like anything that you're doing where it's like if you say you're gonna be somewhere at a certain time, how about you fucking be there?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It just fucking blows my mind.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what I found is the worst? Like my group classes at work, people are pretty good. Class starts at this time.
Yeah.
Private clients, always fucking late. Always fucking late. One-on-one people, always fucking late.
Well, that's because there's probably a psychological thing there
that it's their appointment.
it's their appointment.
So if they show up late, then they're just cutting into their time.
Right, not other people's time. People are more respectful of other people than themselves.
Yep. But
in
if that's how people think, they have it all wrong.
Yeah.
So actually, if anyone out there thinks that because you made an appointment with your trainer, your whoever,
Your tax guy, which I still need to do.
yeah, good. If you make an appointment with those people and you don't show up on time and thinking it's like, oh, well, we'll just do less. That's not how we think.
No.
Like if my appointment is 7 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
and you show up at like 7:15,
It's now
If I don't
going
have-
until 8:15.
if I don't have anything,
Yeah.
or I'm still going to try to get the same amount of stuff done in the same amount of time, and that's really fucking hard to do.
Right.
And no, I don't want to talk to you about your weekend. I'd love to talk to you about your weekend if you showed up on time.
Right.
But I want to get your workout in.
Right.
Because I care.
Right.
I want your workout to get done. Because I designed it for you because that's what you pay me for.
Right.
Don't show up 15 minutes late and start shooting the shit like it's fucking cool because then I'm going to think we didn't get anything done.
Right. Right.
It's like, oh, no, I don't care. It's like, yes, but
You're
if we
paying
don't
me
get
money.
anything done in these sessions,
Yeah.
it's not a good model.
Right.
I'm not just here to steal money from you.
Right.
As easy as it could be.
Yeah. Because then, fast forward 2 or 3 months down the road, they're like,
It's not your business.
they're
It's
like-
not business. It's fucking
Well,
it's making dollars, but it's not a business.
No. What I was saying is 2 or 3 months down the road is they turn around to you and be like, yeah, I don't think your program's any good because I haven't seen any results.
Oh
It's
man,
like-
if anyone ever told me that point blank, I'd fucking.
But it's like that's what happens when you draw that out.
Funny, I heard programs
If you
work better if
lose-
you show up.
If you lose 15 minutes every session twice a week, that's a half hour a week over the course of 3 months. That's That's a lot of fucking time that you have lost that you're not now putting towards your goals.
I try to remind people of that
Yeah.
when they're like, I'm trying to lose like whatever. Dude, it'd really be nice if you showed up here twice a week.
Yeah.
And again, I'm consistent. I say things, the way I kind of say them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I go,
You're not wrong. And that's the thing. Like, you're not wrong.
It's like, oh man, I'd really like to lose that last couple pounds. I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to see you twice a week, every week.
Yeah.
Not, sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like, 2-1, 2-0, 1.
Yeah. 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 But thus is the,
show up on time to your fucking appointments.
yeah. What's the word? The struggle of being in the fitness industry. That's what I was looking for.
I would do the same thing if I was, if I was doing tax meetings or
Yeah.
if I was a lawyer or whatever. Like, dude, noon means noon.
Right.
Doesn't mean 12:30.
Yeah.
11:45. I like that hustle.
The only time it doesn't matter to show up on time is the doctor's office.
Yeah, doctors and dentists, a little different.
They seem to just run on their own time.
Well,
You make an appointment for 4:00. You don't get seen until like 4:25.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like
oh, this is cool. I guess I didn't have anything else to do.
they might be on bar time where
Yeah.
it's like your 12 o'clock appointment is actually 12:15.
Yeah.
In their eyes,
Right.
but you're there for 12.
Right. Yeah. Well, fuck them. So continuing back in our current events this week.
Jeez, how many events happen these days?
This has been a crazy fucking week, man.
Yeah, same here.
In the world and in
Dude, I unloaded a bookcase in about 10 minutes today.
Wow.
So I put a bookcase up on Facebook Marketplace because everyone knows that that's been my fucking jam lately.
Yeah.
Put it up in the description. I saved myself the trouble.
Yeah.
I put, this item is for free. It's located outside of the gym.
Yeah.
Pick up only. Will mark as sold once it's gone. I went inside. I got my letter. I went to the post office.
Yeah.
Walked around like a dumbass in there because I've never done certified mail before. Turns out all I needed was a slip. Anyway.
Yeah.
Come back. Bookcase is gone.
That's awesome.
It was phenomenal. One of the shelves had mold on it.
Ugh, gross. So on Sunday, the news got dropped that the Mueller report became out, or they dropped the results or whatever. This was, do you know about the Mueller report?
I was going to say, should I know what this report is?
It's only been going on for 2 fucking years. It's the
You are really overestimating how much I know about what's going on.
apparently. So it was this guy Robert Mueller.
Do you want me to be 100% honest?
Do you want me to explain it?
No, but because I'm going to give you a frame of reference. If you ask me point blank who's our vice president right now, I don't know.
Okay.
So that shows you how much I know about current events.
All right.
Outside of sports.
It's Mike Pence.
I mean, I would have guessed that.
Yeah. I don't know. Dick Cheney.
I knew it wasn't him. He's been out. And then Joe Biden, I know, is gone because of all the internet memes. Those were hysterical.
Yeah.
So the Mueller report, who is it?
So this guy, Robert Mueller, has spent the last 2 years looking into Trump getting elected. And the whole thought process from the Democrats was that he colluded with Russia to get himself elected. So 2 years goes by. This guy releases the results on Sunday. And the results say there was no collusion. It took him 2 years to find that out. And along the way, there was like a bunch of people that got popped for other random shit because they started looking into like all of his contacts and all of his little buddies. You don't remember this. You didn't know that happened. But there's this guy, Roger Stone. He was just an old dude who got arrested a few months ago. He was tied to Trump. He got arrested for tax evasion and like a bunch of random shit. And like all of these things were happening over the course of 2 years. And all the Democrats were like, ooh, we're getting closer. We're going to nail him. We're going to impeach him. No more Trump. And then Sunday, it comes out he didn't collude with Russia. There was no collusion at all. And then like it pretty much deflated the entire like left wing of the political spectrum. And while I was at the gym this morning, on CNN,
Oh, the TV matchup.
the TV matchup. So on CNN, they ran on the lower third, and it said, despite Mueller report, Trump is still guilty of being unfit to be president. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's not a real headline. Like, that doesn't fucking matter. Like, that's because there was no collusion. He didn't do anything illegal. You can't impeach him because you think he's unfit to be president.
Do people still think he's going to get removed from office?
Some people do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
Do they not realize we're going to run out of time on that one?
No. Well, I mean, he's going to get reelected in 2020.
Fine, but are we still like? Well, I mean, I guess if he got impeached, he wouldn't get reelected. But
Yeah.
like, do people really think that like in the next year and a half?
Yeah. I don't know.
When's the election year? 20?
20, yeah. So
he's got to get through 19 and 20.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not enough time. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, kids.
No. But then he'll get reelected, and then they'll spend the next fucking quadrennial trying to do something there too.
How? So I know everyone hates him, but how is he as a president?
So far, hasn't been bad. Like policy wise,
Yeah.
Like
What
He's
does
done
it come
fine.
down to? Policy and economy and shit
the,
like that?
the economy's at the highest. It's
Dude,
been
fucking
in
stock market's
forever.
crushing it.
That's what I
Waiting
mean.
for a fucking sale over here.
Like he's fine. Like I don't agree with everything that he says and does, but like as far as, judging by success of the nation, like we're still here. So like all those people that were like in the videos on the news that were like on their knees crying in the middle of New York City and San Francisco the day after the election, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, the country, oh no." We're almost 4 years later, and we're kind of fucking killing it right now.
2.5.
Yeah, round up. We always round.
2.5.
We always round. So I don't know. They're just being a bunch of fucking bitches about this. So there was no collusion in that. The FBI, Mueller, all that shit. They were like, "Yep, nope."
Imagine
we're good."
taking 2 years.
Yeah, of our money. They use
Don't
taxpayers'
even care.
dollars.
Not even the money.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you do something like that, it's not, unbiased. Like, you're trying to find something, and you take
Yeah.
2 fucking years, and you're so sure of it,
Yeah. And then
you find nothing.
nothing. A big fat nothing burger.
Wow, that's gotta suck. Who is this dude? What does he do? Is he a lawyer?
I'm assuming he's some kind of lawyer, attorney, whatever. I don't know the difference between a lawyer and an attorney, but
I think they're the same thing.
I'm pretty sure they're the same thing. Yeah. I think it depends on like the type of law that you practice.
Well, I think you have a defense attorney and a prosecutor, but they're both lawyers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Something like that.
Yeah. Lawyer is like an overarching title.
Yeah, it's like, I think attorney might be, because then there's like attorney at
so
law.
Attorney, I think, is someone who practices law in a courtroom, because you could be a real estate lawyer.
Right. Yeah, there's attorney at law and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. That makes sense. So yeah, that was the whole, the best part about that is that, so this thing drops around, I don't know, let's call it noon, 2:00 Eastern time on Sunday, that the Mueller report comes out and the findings, whatever.
That's a good berry.
What happens, 3-4 hours later, Gronk announces retirement. And everyone immediately forgot and stopped talking about the Mueller report. So that thing got about 3 hours of press, and then everybody was talking about Gronk retiring.
So Gronk retiring was you're implying that not only did the Gronk retirement bury the Bob Kraft from the owners meeting stuff, it also buried the national thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Just clarifying that one.
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski announcing his retirement from the NFL.
Yeah, it buried all the news from the people that want fucking the president impeached. Yep.
Yep, exactly.
Good.
It's awesome, right? The news cycle is very interesting. All right. So the last thing that happened in the
Dude, there's more events.
yeah. All right. So this one. We might have to put on some tinfoil hats here.
Hold on.
Because I'm gonna
How
get.
do you find? How do normal people?
I pay attention to the world.
No, but like where? Like what means?
Twitter, podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Okay, I don't have time to listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
I barely have time to listen to our own.
So
Like barely. Like I actually didn't get through the one with Mitch. I ran out of time.
Yeah.
But I came up with enough content.
yeah. No, we're good. We're good.
I didn't listen to the one from last week.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm on Twitter, social media. Instagram.
I'm on Twitter too, but I'm mostly on gambling Twitter. So I know
Yeah.
what's going on with that.
I like check the news on Twitter,
Golf Twitter.
and I see the news at the gym when I'm at the gym. It's on the TVs.
Oh, so
So-
the TVs at the gym have to be on.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
that could be one.
So I'm pretty current with my news, but that's how I do it. So this one again, I'm gonna dig into a little conspiracy here. This is my own conspiracy. Well, I can't claim it as my own because I'm sure other people also think this too. So, you remember the Parkland shooting in Florida?
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know, dude. Aren't there a lot of shootings in Florida?
This was the school shooting from was this 2018 or 2017? I don't even remember.
I'll be 100% honest. I cannot keep up with all the school shootings.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There's
Sandy Hook, I'm good on.
There's at least like one a year. So this one happened in Florida at Parkland High School. Again, I forget whether it was 17 or 18, but actually, no, 17 was Vegas, the Vegas shooting. So this must have been in 18.
Vegas was
as
too...
if-
No,
as if-
Vegas wasn't too...
Yep, it was.
I thought the hockey team was a thing.
No, it was because
Ooh, wait, did it happen late in 17?
yes,
Okay, never mind.
because that's why they delayed the release of The Punisher. It's because of the Vegas shooting. The original season of The Punisher was supposed to come out in September.
Oh, and it came out in October.
Yeah.
See, I know that.
Yeah, see? So, yeah. I'll just speak in Marvel terms.
No, you got to speak in terms that I can think of.
Yeah. So anyway, the Parkland shooting happened. It was at a school in Florida. There was a lot of controversy surrounding it, obviously, as there is for most school shootings. But so a fast forward to now. Last week, there was a father of one of the students. Now, admittedly, I don't know if it's the father of a student who survived or who died.
Okay.
I'm going to assume it's potentially one who died.
We can call them both victims, though, right?
Yeah, no, definitely victim. A father of a victim of the shooting committed suicide.
Okay.
Again, this is probably maybe a little bit over a week ago now at this point. He was a very anti-gun. He supported, because that's what happens. There's a mass shooting, and then everyone comes out as anti-gun, trying to change laws and all shit. Gun sales always go through the roof around that time. It's like a whole weird. That's a whole nother conspiracy. That's for our conspiracy theory episode. So
Shit. Kurt Cobain and what?
yeah, I don't know.
Damn it.
I'll think of it another
We'll
time.
have to look back.
So
Shit.
he was very anti-gun, very outspoken about it, rightfully so, whatever, if he lost a child in this. So, you know how he committed suicide?
Was it with a gun?
Gunshot to the head. So, whatever, like, okay, like, that. It's really shitty. It's very unfortunate. Fine, we get past it. Like, 6 or 7 days later, one of the girls who was at the Parkland, who was there, an actual victim of the shooting, survivor, who this girl, after it all happened, went on record on one of the news stations and said something along the lines of like the second shooter. So she made a claim that there was a second shooter.
Okay.
She committed suicide like 6 or 7 days after this dad.
So the
do you know-
father...
do you know how she committed suicide?
Gunshot.
Gunshot to the head.
So the father of one of the victims, who we assume probably died,
Yes.
but we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Okay. And one of the girls that survived but was there.
Yep.
Was it... Wait. So in the news report, was there only one shooter?
Yes.
And she alluded to a second shooter?
Yes.
Go on.
That's oh, that was a real shitty timing if our camera just died again.
I want your conclusions.
So
I caught myself up on the info. I want your conclusions.
So I think that there's that in and of itself is very fucking fishy.
Yeah, I mean the timetable. The same method and timetable.
Yeah. Yeah. For two people who were outspoken against guns and then had, were in this. So I don't know. I don't want to start turning into Alex Jones here, but I think there's more to it. I think there could potentially be a legitimate conspiracy in here somewhere. Just because that's too much of a coincidence for two people that were related to this incident, one directly and one indirectly, kill themselves within a week of each other the same exact way, gunshot wound to the head after they had been very anti-gun in the aftermath of this event.
Were they deemed self-inflicted?
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean,
obviously they ruled a suicide, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a difference. Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think someone's going around fucking killing these people?
Kinda. Yeah. I don't know who.
Well, the second shooter.
I mean, maybe.
Or someone trying to cover for the second shooter.
I mean, maybe.
Well, what the fuck is the conspiracy then?
If you want to get real deep and dark into this conspiracy, could be the government. So depending on who you talk to, again,
Why?
I don't want to get Alex Jones level here on it. But if they had staged this shooting as, for political reasons, because they're trying to repeal the Second Amendment, they're trying to, like, it's very well known that there's a lot of political steam behind getting rid of guns in America. What's the best way to get rid of guns? You have an event with a mass killing involving guns, because people start to make emotional reactions rather than rational thought-backed decisions. So there's thoughts and conspiracies out there that these mass shootings are actually like being set up and or funded by different government factions.
All right, so we definitely have enough tinfoil for the hats. What was, like, in Signs, what was the kid's deal with the water? Like, he only took one sip of his water cups, or like the water got old or something?
Oh,
so do we have to start like
shit.
leaving our water glasses around too?
Yeah, God, that's a fucking reference, man. I saw that movie probably right when it came out and then never again. That's the one with Mel Gibson, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Joaquin Phoenix before Beard.
Yeah. There was like the aliens and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I vaguely remember
They wore
it.
tinfoil hats.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And
So
something with the water cups.
So, I mean, that's kind of that on my thoughts there. Again, I don't want to go crazy with it, but there's a lot of people talking about it. And to me personally, I think that's a little bit too much of a coincidence. All things considered.
Seems strange.
Yeah.
That the anti-gun people are getting taken out.
Right.
But potentially it would come from anti-gun people.
Right.
So, but why male models?
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. Well, I instantly went to the quote unquote second shooter is behind it. Or
Right.
someone trying to cover for the second shooter. That's where my head immediately went to.
Yeah, and
But I
obviously
also
my
haven't-
head goes straight to government. It's the government.
Okay. Well, I don't also have people. I don't have fucking crazy yahoos putting
Yeah.
these crazy ideas in my head. That was my first thought.
Government agencies.
And my first thought is they probably didn't actually kill themselves.
Yeah.
Now, do we think that they actually killed themselves?
No, I don't.
It was okay. Because you can stage a gunshot to the head.
Yeah, I've seen enough movies. I know it can be done.
I've seen a movie or two.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
it's interesting.
Interesting.
And you know what else is interesting is that
Has it been 6 or 7 days?
it's not been I don't know if it's been a week. So I think the dad killed himself first, then the girl killed herself. I don't know if it's been a full week since the girl.
Well, they'll probably be pushing their luck if it is a conspiracy theory by going with 3, right?
Yeah.
But we probably want to pay attention to other shootings.
So this is the thing, is that what I was going to say, there's really been no coverage on it in like mass media wide. The only reason I know about it is because I follow like random people on Twitter and Instagram, and they post about it. Because again, I wouldn't consider myself a full-blown conspiracy theorist, but I do like to read them because I find them entertaining. And some of them are kind of legit. Like this one, like there's some legitimacy to that one. You know? It's a little bit too much of a coincidence. But I mean, you want to talk to me about Bigfoot and like go fuck yourself. Like I'll read it and laugh, but like that, no. That this is too much of a coincidence
Loch
here.
Ness Monsters.
Yeah.
We never
yeah.
watched that episode.
But you know what we did watch though?
The Dirt.
The Dirt.
I've been fucking talking about this since I watched it. Watched it Sunday.
Tuesday. It came out on Tuesday.
Huh? I did not watch it on Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday.
Oh yeah, that's
Today's
right.
Wednesday.
Oh, that's right.
Watch it on Sunday.
Oh,
Came out on Friday.
okay, sure.
The
My days
Jesus
are
Christ.
all fucking mixed up.
fucking guy has no idea what day it is.
Yeah.
Or what's going on.
Yeah.
He knows current events, but he doesn't know today's fucking Wednesday.
I don't know what days the current events
Doesn't know
happen
that this
on.
was Wednesday. We watched it on Sunday, and the movie came out on Friday. So, The Dirt is the Motley Crue movie. It almost feels like the alternative to Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
but for a band that actually is fucking insane.
Right.
So, The Dirt is actually based off the book called The Dirt, which is the world's most notorious band. I think that's like the subtitle.
Yeah. It's
On
with
it-
Neil Strauss, right? He wrote it.
Perhaps, but it follows Motley Crue, and pretty much from formation to right about the end, but not like the very end, but almost like reuniting.
Yeah.
But oh my fucking lord, the storylines from
Yeah.
that fucking movie.
Yeah.
It is absolutely and utterly insane. I actually have some inside info on someone who read the book. So it's really not inside info. I just haven't read the book.
Yeah.
So I have info from someone who read
You
it.
have someone with more information.
So you actually missed this scene because I think you were still up here putting together one of the podcasts. The very opening scene, they're at the hotel and they're all like getting their. Oh, by the way, Motley Crue, spoiler alert, Motley Crue. Fucking craziness.
Oh, yeah, they're
sex,
absolutely-
sex, drugs, rock and roll. That's Motley Crue.
Yeah.
So the very first scene, they're getting fucked up in a party, and Strange, Vince Neil's banging someone in the bathroom,
Yeah.
and Nikki Sixx is doing God knows what, something, drugs,
Yeah.
and fucking Tommy Lee in the middle of the party starts eating out his girlfriend, and she starts squirting everywhere. That's the opening scene.
That's fucking awesome.
And then, so a couple of the crazier scenes were, first of all, they all just like they all just fucking banged each other's girlfriends, fiancés. Didn't matter who, didn't matter
Yeah.
what, didn't matter who.
Yeah.
The one scene where, Nikki Sixx, or the guy's knocking on Nikki Sixx's door. He goes, "Oh hey, Tommy Lee wants you to meet his
Yeah.
parents."
Yeah. He's banging.
He's sitting there
Tommy's
banging his
fiancé.
fiance. In the book, apparently they brought that up. And like Tommy Lee's response was, yeah, I kind of found out about that, but I guess it's not that big of a deal because I was doing God knows what with God knows who. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like fucking.
And they didn't actually end up getting married either.
No, I don't think they did.
No.
They might.
No, because he threw her off the bus, remember?
Ooh, yeah. You know what was weird about that movie? When he fucking he clocked her.
Oh, yeah.
That it was like really, really strange because it was like he hit her, and it felt like something was gonna happen,
And then nothing
and
happened.
then nothing happened.
Because it was like 1984.
I know, but the movie was made now.
Yeah,
With obviously
yeah.
now with the way things are,
Right.
he fucking hit her in the jaw, and then it was just like that was like it.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened. Like they didn't get back together. Like nothing.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really, really strange scene because it felt one way and just never even got close to it.
Yeah.
But I also, so with Motley Crue, I wasn't a huge Motley Crue fan. Turns out I like their music a little bit more than I thought. But talk about, so it's a band of 4 people.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee may have been one of the most sane of them all. Because Mick Mars had his issues too, but that was mostly because of his health.
Right.
Now, he seemed to be the most leveled. He was also only 3 years old than Nikki Sixx. So when they kept calling him old man and shit.
Yeah.
He's 3 years old than Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee was very young, though.
Right.
He joined when he was like 17.
Yeah.
Dropped out
but
of
I mean,
school.
when they formed, if he was 17 and then if Vince and fucking Nikki,
Well, it was
Nikki Sixx
Nikki
or,
and Mick.
if they're like 22 and then Mick is 25.
He would have been 25.
25 is a big difference between that and 22 and 17,
Yeah. When you're calling someone old man,
Well, yeah.
you're thinking like,
Yeah.
30, 40
Yeah.
plus. Anyway. But
You're thinking too literally.
dude, it's just old man. Well, he also acted a little bit like an old man,
Yeah.
but that was probably because of his health. He also had fucking real issues with liquor.
Ankylosing spondylitis.
Yeah, look at that. That's good pronunciation.
Yeah.
Now you saw him drinking, but you didn't see him really in on the drugs and really in on like the sex.
Yeah.
But he had his own he for sure had drinking issues. They all
yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking bad.
Yeah.
So I just thought, and actually, so I guess the book, you get more details, but it also is way more depressing. The movie kind of glamorizes it.
yeah.
The book is almost like is kind of like a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Because not
it
if you
kinda has
think
to
about
be.
it, not a lot of good happened.
No.
You had Vince Neil killed a fucking guy,
Right.
which I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't follow Motley Crue that well. I actually knew who Hanoi Rocks was, but I didn't know that he killed the drummer.
yeah.
And I don't know if the few songs I know from Hanoi Rocks were before, after, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, Nikki Sixx's overdose.
Right.
Tommy Lee has been married and divorced 1,000 times.
3.
Is that it?
Yeah. It was his first wife, and then it was Heather Locklear, and then it was Pam Anderson.
Didn't he get married again?
He might be on his 4th marriage right
Good
now.
Lord. Dude, why do you keep doing this to yourself? So, I gotta say, Mick Mars had the health issues he had. Like, there was actually not a lot of, like, glorious things going on with these people.
No, Vince Neil's daughter died.
Yeah, I forgot about that, too, because that was towards the end.
Yeah. That's kind of what, like, brought them all back together.
Yeah, there was a couple holes with that, like, with what actually happened. And
Right.
Vince actually had 2 wives, but they only showed one. Mm-hmm. And he actually had 2 daughters that things happened to. Like, I think one got cancer and the other one died. I could be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like the movie glamorized, and I enjoyed watching it. But I guess the book is very, very depressing.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to glamorize it in a movie because no one wants to watch a movie
It's
and then be
going to-
depressed after.
Well, it's going to anyway.
And also, like, it's fucking Motley Crue. Like,
And the fact that it's a
they
movie,
were fucking absolutely bananas.
he's married again.
Yeah, I thought he's on his 4th one.
Yeah,
Who's he married to?
Brittany Ferlin.
Oh, don't know who that is. But you know, they were fucking nuts, dude. They like, they literally, like in the movie, they were throwing fucking TVs out of their hotel room and
Like all the time.
and getting arrested like left and right and fucking with their manager and
Like when Tommy Lee's recapping his day where he wakes up at 5 p.m.
yeah.
and gets just absolutely, he never sobers up ever.
No.
And he's handcuffed to the bed. I thought he was like, was banging someone, got handcuffed to the bed, like sex acts. It's like, no, he was handcuffed to the bed because he couldn't be fucking controlled.
By his manager.
Manager had to handcuff him to the damn bed.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't fucking keep himself under control.
Yeah.
Fuck. Insane.
Yeah. It's honestly, I mean, I know Nikki Sixx overdosed and he did die. He coded for a while. But I'm honestly surprised that none of them died.
No, it's almost like in Get Him to the Greek, it's like those British motherfuckers don't die.
Hardcore rockers don't die.
They have put their bodies through the fucking ringer.
Yeah.
Like what else could they do?
Right.
Like they were fucked. Like the scene where Vince Neil comes back to the band after getting out of jail.
Yeah.
And it's like they offer him a line and it's fucking heroin.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys just tried to slip me smack and I'm the fucking problem.
Right.
Like, he wasn't wrong.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, he's the one who got the DUI and killed a guy.
Right.
And you guys are still bad people.
Right.
Like,
but they did it to fuck with him too. Like, you know, like they thought it was a joke.
Yeah. Which we've seen as snorting heroin in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it doesn't
Not
go
great.
well. Yeah.
But they didn't have Pulp Fiction at their disposal.
That's true. Pulp Fiction didn't come out until 92.
No, maybe Pulp Fiction knew to jam those fucking...
Yeah.
Jam the adrenaline based on Nikki Sixx.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting point. He got 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 shots of adrenaline to the
That's what it
heart.
takes.
Yeah, to come back from that much heroin.
That's what it takes for him.
Oh, God. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. Again,
I've been telling everyone about it. I'm like, this is insane.
On the was I entertained meter, yes.
The entire time.
I give it a yes.
The entire time.
Yep.
I've been like telling people too. It's like, oh, do you like Motley Crue? Not really. All right, well, you should definitely watch this anyway.
It's great.
It's like, do you even know who Motley Crue is? No, dude, you should watch this anyway.
Yeah.
You don't really need to know who they are.
So their lifestyle and that movie is exactly what I imagine in my brain when I think of rock bands from, 1969 to 1991, call it, like that range.
Yeah, I think Coke was probably just a little bit heavier in the 80s. I know I'm arguing semantics, but psychedelics may have been a little bit more 60s, 70s.
Right.
You also had a little bit more of the hippie-ish earlier, shifting towards more of the metal people.
The peak is probably, I would say, between 75 and 85.
Something like that.
That was the peak of like the just bananas for rock bands. But that they're, like I said, like their lifestyle in that movie is exactly what I imagine every single rock band in the 70s and 80s went through and did.
I'm glad you said that because I think about how crazy that movie was. So I started looking up like, hey, what are some of the craziest bands or some of the craziest musicians?
Yeah.
And when I was in, what grade was I in? 11th or 12th grade. I don't know. I did something on the antics of musicians and like, does it overshadow their music? It was like a research paper, which wasn't done well. But I went through, I think I started with like the 27 Club.
Yep.
So you had like Hendrix, Joplin. I did a little bit extra
Morrison.
I did a little bit extra on Keith Moon because he was fucking insane too.
Yeah.
So then I moved into I may have went right to grunge after that. I don't think I really touched on the 80s too much. Mm-hmm. So I went into the grunge stuff with Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley. And then I brought it to now, and my reference was a documentary called Metal, A Headbanger's Ball, or A Headbanger's Journey. A Headbanger's Journey. I think Headbanger's Ball was a different CD. It was Metal, A Headbanger's Journey, and they went into the Norwegian black metal scene. Now, Norwegian black metal, you should never listen to under any circumstances. The music sucks. The people are like very, very bad people. Like you talk about like, oh, these people are talking about killing myself. No, these people are talking about killing you. Like they're gonna kill. They want to kill you
Oh, good.
because they worship Satan
Oh, good. Even better.
and they hate Christians. Like bad people.
yeah.
Bad people.
Yeah.
Which brought me to remembering the band that I like did a lot on. I spent most of my presentation talking about the band Mayhem. Is a Norwegian black metal band. And there was a guy named Dead in the band. Dead killed himself.
Now is that Dead?
D-E-A-D.
Okay.
Dead killed himself.
He was dead.
Not sure why. So Dead's dead.
Dead was dead. Yep. I'm following.
Euronymous finds Dead.
This sounds like a fiction novel.
He finds Dead. Who's dead. He decides to take pieces of his brain, mail it to people, keep some of it, things of that nature.
That seems healthy.
Takes parts of his skull, makes a necklace of it, saves some others. I don't know if he sent any of those out.
That's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Fast forward, Euronymous, a few years later, gets stabbed 27 times by another bandmate,
Oh, that's it?
Varg. Verkenes.
So we're continuing with the fiction novel here.
So, in one band, Dead kills himself. Euronymous finds him, scavenges his body,
Yeah. Ugh.
and does what he God knows what. Varg decides to stab Euronymous 27 times because Euronymous isn't evil enough. Apparently, scavenging someone's dead fucking body isn't evil enough.
So did
So Euronymous is dead.
he didn't survive?
Dead is dead. Euronymous is dead. Varg went to jail for a super long time. He's out now.
Jesus fucking
And
Christ.
that is one band. That's called Mayhem, Norwegian black metal. Reasons why you should never listen to it. Plus, the music sucks.
All right, cool. Yeah. I don't think I ever was going to listen to it, but now I definitely
No,
will.
you don't want to. It's not good. Like, there's not even like good parts to it. But then, like, I even got like that was Mayhem. But then there was like another band, Gorgoroth, where they would sacrifice animals on stage, and like they would use like goat's blood and goat's heads
What
and
the
shit like
fuck?
that. And they used to do like the white paint with like the black, almost like a Scream kind of thing, but not really.
Yeah, no, seems like definitely a band that I probably want to follow.
Yeah. Oh, and the guy Varg went to jail not for stabbing that guy, but for burning churches down.
All right, good.
And then
Good.
in Gorgoroth, the lead singer I think is Gal, and he's a Satanist, and he says Satan caused him to do whatever he does, and how he hates like these sects of people, but he's gay himself, and it's like this is insane.
So like these people are definitely like mentally unstable. I think can we agree on that?
I mean, I wouldn't trust them to like.
You know, I wouldn't let
Do
them.
anything.
I wouldn't let them watch my dog.
Wouldn't let them work on my car. But if I need a church burned down, then I think I know who to call.
Oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ, that's insane.
High school research paper. That's what I did it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like looking through like with Motley Crue and like some of the antics they went on, and they don't like get brought up with the craziest bands because it's not one thing that was so
Yeah.
like shocking,
Right.
like that,
Right.
Or the guy who fucking shits in his hand and throws it at people.
God.
But for just like talk about a band that was completely and utterly out of control for like the entirety of their existence.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right.
Wild.
All right. You want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
All right. You got a final thought?
Yeah. Do you want a musing or do you want me to go with more music stuff?
Give me one of the musings. I like you. The musings have been good.
I've only done one.
Oh, you did too.
What was the other one?
I don't know. You said it the other night.
Oh, with Finn?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What did I talk about?
I don't know.
Did I talk about tattoos?
You're kind of fucked up. I don't
Yeah,
think. No.
Fuck.
I don't remember what it was, but If you start going and you repeat it, I'll remember it.
Did I go death metal?
I'll remember a repeat. I have no idea.
Oh man,
I honestly don't know.
this is insane. Did I go pork chops?
Don't think so.
I'm gonna go pork chops.
Okay.
Are you sure I did one of these? All right, so pork chops.
Yeah.
Pork chops have had a very strange timeline in my life because my mother used to cook them like all the time.
Yeah.
And I hated them. I fucking hated them.
Yeah.
All the time. And when I started living on my own, like obviously I was like I cooked a little bit when I was living with them, but when I was on my own, like I obviously had to cook my own food and kind of figure it out for myself.
Yeah, like, you know, a normal adult.
You'd be surprised. So like pork chops are cheap. They're very cheap.
Yeah, pork is very cheap.
So like I never liked pork chops growing up. I'm like, pork chops suck. That's fucking gross. Those suck. These are terrible. So I gave them another shot. Like once I like got a little bit older.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Most food doesn't suck. Most people just suck at cooking it.
Yes.
So like the whole thing with pork chops and like, hey, sorry, Mom. She sucked at cooking them. She baked them in the oven with breadcrumbs or baked them in the oven, like just pepper. Like, I don't even know if the lady ever used salt.
Yeah.
I don't know. But come to find out that pork chops are actually fucking good. And I'm fucking sick at cooking them too. And
they're delicious.
yeah, and all it comes down to is just actually being able to cook.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things, it's like, oh, I don't eat this, or I don't like that, or I don't like this, I don't like that. Like these food, like it's more like dishes because it could be a specific food because there's nothing you can do with certain things that people just aren't going to eat them.
Right.
But it's just like funny. It's like I don't like that. I don't like that. It's like, motherfucker, sit down. I'll make you fucking like. I'll make you fucking like this or whatever.
Yeah.
But pork chops are also a huge pain in the ass because if you don't buy them like relatively consistently, then you never know how to cook them. Because pork chops can be cooked under, which I don't know if like some people don't think. I told my mother one time, she was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna get so sick." No,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be fine.
You can. Yeah, you can. They can be a little pink.
You can eat them under. So if you go like bone in, then you have like regular bone in, and then you have like the porterhouse ones, like the thick ones, and you have like the boneless ones. And I was just like thinking, I'm like, it is so insane that all it takes is knowing what the fuck you're doing, and like, you know, a couple decent seasonings, or knowing what you're doing with the spices,
Right.
And like no food is actually bad,
No, right.
except kale.
Yeah. Kale sucks.
Kale sucks.
Kale fucking blows.
But I hated pork chops for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And now I'm fucking bomb at cooking pork chops.
Yeah.
And they're fucking great. And it's not, it doesn't even come down to the food. It's not pork chops' fault. Pork chops didn't do anything wrong in this situation.
No, it was just the manner in which they were cooked.
Yeah.
And prepared.
Yeah. No good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry.
Which, if you're listening to this, I got more to apologize than just the fucking pork chops.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got more. The fact that you still talk to me would be insane.
Oh, man. Well, that's a good final thought.
That's it.
My final thought for today is so in Rockland County, New York, they have banned people under the age of 18 who have not been vaccinated from going to public areas.
Huh?
And I think that is phenomenal.
Hold on. Sorry for the pause. How do? But this is like Super Troopers, we were watching the other day.
Yeah.
How do you ban people from public areas? It's like, if it's like, you know, it was like the beach. Like, do you own the water and the sand?
I know. And I understand also there's really no way to know whether or not someone's vaccinated because they don't look any different.
Well, they could be the ones that are cross-eyed, or
Yeah.
or the ones who are being fucking held by a leash.
So,
Do you ever know anyone on a leash?
no, personally, no.
I knew one kid.
No. But I've seen it. I've seen it a bunch.
He probably needed to be on a leash.
So I think this is phenomenal because the whole like anti-vaxxer movement is like a thing, and it's starting to come back. And now slowly but surely, we're starting to see these diseases that used to like, kill a fuckload of people like 100 years ago.
Ooh, I got a fun story for this.
That were essentially eradicated. Obviously, there's like small instances here and there. Essentially, they were eradicated, and now they're starting to come back. So if you want to not vaccinate your child, guess what? I don't have a problem with that they're banning the unvaccinated people from public areas, because it's a public safety concern. If you haven't been vaccinated with it's the measles, mumps, rubella shot in one.
Yep.
And if you're carrying the measles, guess what? I don't want you fucking near me. I don't care that I have been vaccinated. I don't want you fucking near me.
Well, I don't want you near me because I just don't know if you're intelligent enough, or whoever raised you was intelligent enough to raise you as a decent person.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'll be one of the first people to say that Big Pharma is a fucking sham and it's a money-making scheme, and the whole opioid crisis that we're dealing with right now is because of Big Pharma and fucking OxyContin back in the day. But just like most things in life, pharmaceuticals do have a good side, like, getting rid of polio, getting rid of measles, mumps, rubella, the flu shot, albeit I've never gotten one in my 27 years of life. It does help.
Me neither.
It does help some people. Like, things like that, those are good things. Tetanus shots, I like getting tetanus shots because that means I don't get tetanus. Tetanus fucking sucks. Things like that. Sure, yeah, I'll support Big Pharma for that, but like I obviously won't support them for fucking overprescribing dumb shit.
Cure for cancer, that's my other conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the other one. The cure for cancer is already out there.
Right.
I remembered. Kurt Cobain and cancer.
Yeah. We'll get that conspiracy theory episode going at some point. Yeah.
Just like the Lost episode.
Yeah.
If we keep talking about these things, there may be a demand for one.
Yeah.
So, I know I totally stole your steam, but that sounded like you wrapped that up. So, well, you didn't. I'm wrapping it up for you.
Yeah.
So, when I was doing strength and conditioning for Stonehill Hockey,
Yeah.
it was my second season doing it. So, the first year, they went to the conference championship game for the first time in like a few years. Mm-hmm. They ended up losing. And then the second year, we won our first title because St. Anselm's had to forfeit because of a mumps outbreak.
Oh, God.
The team got the mumps.
Jesus Christ. Probably because one kid on the team didn't get vaccinated, got the mumps, and then gave it to everyone else. So that's the thing, too. Like, so even if you have been vaccinated, we get the vaccines when we're like 1 or 2. So for some people, that might be, 3 years ago. For some people, that might be like 30 years ago.
Yep.
So it's like, and I guess, I don't understand. I'm not a virologist. I just made that up. I don't know if that's a real thing. But I'm not sure, like, different strains and strands. Like, we might get vaccinated against certain types of the measles.
God, yeah.
Because that's how it works with the flu. Like, the flu shot only is certain strains. Either way, I don't want to be near you or have you anywhere fucking around me if you have any of those diseases. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, plus I can't win any more conference championships, so I got no use for any of those diseases.
Yeah. I'm all set with that. So vaccinate your fucking kids.
Or don't have them, whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to cause fucking autism. That was a big thing back in the day. Thanks to, who started that movement? The brilliant Jenny McCarthy.
I thought she was hilarious in basketball.
Yeah, say what you want, but she said that her son...
She's about as intelligent as a ham sandwich.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's spot on. She said that her son was born with autism because of the vaccines that were given to him.
I'm glad we all listened to her sound medical advice.
Yeah. So that started the movement. And now recently there was a guy on the Joe Rogan podcast who like understands biogenetics and stuff and was like, Yeah, so we've pretty much narrowed it down to like this certain set of like 40 different genes in our DNA sequence that causes autism, and there's no way that could change from a virus. So they're not completely there yet, but what they have found so far, they can say with some serious confidence that they're not related.
Well, it's great that we need the world's best scientist to refute Jenny McCarthy.
Right. Yeah, of course.
I'm just really glad
Yeah.
that the I guess co-female lead of basketball was our source of the whole vaccine epidemic.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I didn't know she pulled that kind of power around here.
You learned a lot in this episode. This is very educational.
And you learned about mayhem and
I
Varg.
did. Oh God, yeah. All right, we done?
Done.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening, and to those of you for watching on YouTube, the video cut out again. We almost fucking made it through this episode. I swear we're gonna fucking fix this. We're gonna get it right. It's gonna be going. Eventually, someday we'll be able to afford a better camera, and then we won't have to deal with that. So,
We need some sponsors.
if you want to
or some more
sponsor us,
shirts.
or you know someone that wants to sponsor us, reach out. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Search us on Twitter at Sarcasm Speaks. Again, on YouTube, we are Sarcasm Speaks. Find us, subscribe to us. We post our full episodes, and then we also take clips here and there. Some of them might be 45 seconds. Some of them might be, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. If you don't want to listen to the whole or watch the whole thing, you can watch a few clips. Those are there. We are up everywhere. You can find podcasts. If you're on iTunes, go over to the iTunes store, click the subscribe button, leave us a review too. It helps us out, bumps us up in the rankings, and so people will find us without actually having to search for us. So that's going to do it for us, kids. Thank you, and have a great night.